Let's get into it, baby.
Ah yeah, it's time to travel and bang, baby.
This is Travel and Bang. I am the one and only Marky Bravo the Mulatto. Welcome to the jungle. We got fun and games here to talk about the dark arts of seduction and the nuance of game. I'm glad you came. This one is going to be golden, gentlemen. This one, because I'm going to get into an experience I had. So for the gentlemen who've been through this before, you'll find it entertaining to hear the dramatics, which is never that entertaining when you're actually going through it. And for the gentlemen who probably never been through this, it's good to hear and these stories being relayed, because then when it's happening to you in real time, you'll know how to react to it. I'll give an antidote to this, so it won't even matter when a woman does this, okay? I'm gonna talk about bread crumbing, okay? This is not a literal term. This is a figurative term. Bread crumbing, the first time I heard this was in more of the pickup artist community by Owen Cook of Real Social Dynamics. So bread crumbing is, as you already probably jumped to the conclusion, it's when a woman gives you attention. You're just getting to know her. She's giving you attention. She's validating you. And you're starting to think like, yes, I'm in there. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, she pulls back, not answering the text messages. Or then all of a sudden it's taking 48 hours just to respond to a text message. She doesn't show any attention. And it's just like, yo, what's going on? So you finally throw your hands up and say, yeah, F it. You know what I mean? F this. I don't got time for this. And then all of a sudden she calls and you're like, hello? And she's all, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. And she's kissing your butt. And now she's validating you, telling you how great you are. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden you fall back into it. You go like, oh, I guess she likes me. Oh, okay. And then all of a sudden she withdraws again. And basically what that means is she's breadcrumbing you. She's showing you just enough attention to keep you on the hook. That's why they call it breadcrumbing. So this is really about not to let any woman, gentlemen, if you're a single bachelor, do not let any woman breadcrumb you. And I'm telling you right now, you need to call it out as soon as it happens. A matter of fact, use that terminology, breadcrumbing. And you have to literally say, hey, you're breadcrumbing. You're breadcrumbing, and I just don't know. No, thank you. I want the whole loaf of bread, not the crumbs, okay? So here's a story where I went through it. Now, my story is a little different because usually breadcrumbing, a lot of men don't become romantically intimate with the woman. She just gives enough attention to where they're constantly, you know what I mean, kind of chasing after a perpetual tailspin chase. My situation where I really discovered breadcrumbing was I actually was romantically already involved in this woman, and it was just weird that because they are head games. Breadcrumbing is head games, a form of head games. It's just how she pulled it on me. So when it happened to me, I was overseas. Of course, I'm an expat contractor, right? So I was in Kuwait. And I was going through LinkedIn, I was going through Facebook. The dating apps really didn't work so well in Kuwait. You know what I mean? It just, you can know why. You know what I mean? So I was looking for Western women there. And then I went on LinkedIn trying to find women who worked for my company, worked on my military installation. And I found this one chick. And believe it or not, it was crazy. It was like she lived right up the street from me. It was like serendipity. I mean, this is awesome. The luck of that, the chances, right? So to get straight to the point, she basically comes over, we hang out, and we didn't get down right away, and I probably could have, but I didn't want to, I don't know why. I should have just went for the kill right away, right? And then she said, hey, how about end of the week, I'll come over, I'll bring a bottle of Black Label, Johnny Walker, okay? Her name's Michelle. That's what we'll call her in this one. And she said, you make sure you have the ice. And I was just like, I didn't know what to say, because I wasn't used to a woman who, as beautiful as she was, gorgeous, drop dead gorgeous, being so adamantly aggressive about wanting to hang out and drink. We know what that translates into, right, gentlemen? Like, it was a dream come true. It was a dream come true. I never, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be honest, it's never that easy most of my life with women and the game I'd have to use, but for some weird reason, it worked, okay? And mind you, she's like me, she's a contractor, she works on the same military installation, so this is awesome, she's right up the street. So yeah, she came over, make a long story short, you know what I mean? We hung out, we sipped some Black Label, and before you know it, after talking, we got romantically intimate, you know what I mean? I'm using that term because, gentlemen, I'm gonna tell something real quick. These channels, they scan for certain words, and they're not fond of certain words, you know what I mean, for advertisers and that. So you already know what I mean by romantically intimate, okay? That you already know. So after we boom bada bing, shebang bang, nothing but a G thing, okay? She does double monkey backflips. You know, we had a really pleasurable, awesome time. I'm just so like enamored in her, and so I don't know why, I was just so infatuated. You know what I mean? I really was feeling her really too much that I should have. And as the time went on, I started noticing she just kind of backed off. Like all of a sudden her text messages didn't come back as fast. She just kind of blank space. You know, it turned into 24 hours, then 48 hours. And then it was like almost like a whole week went by. And it was just like, you know what I mean? Even when I reached out, you know, I was like, hey, what's going on? I didn't, you know. So I kind of just threw my hands up and said, hey, it is what it is. And then all of a sudden, when she noticed I didn't care anymore, boom, she hit me up on the phone, you know, hey, what's up, baby? And I was just like, hey, what's up, girl? You know what I mean? And it was like, okay, maybe she was just going through something. But this was a reoccurring theme with her. And I realized that's what they call it. It's breadcrumbing. The women give you enough interest, enough validation, even romantic intimacy validation, if you know what I mean. Enough, just enough to keep you on the hook, to keep you interested, to keep you pursuing. But they never give all of themselves to you. You understand? And the fact remains is women like this, usually, I'm gonna be honest with you, gentlemen, they're seeing multiple people. You're not the only guy the woman's courting. And that's where the breadcrumbing comes in. They breadcrumb because they're not all in. Because it's you and maybe another dude she's entertaining. Or, as this woman, she was entertaining like 3 different people. 3 different people. And I think, might have even been 4. I think she even had a trainer that she was doing things with. You know, I didn't know this till the very end, and I'm gonna save that for another video. But you understand, it was breadcrumbing. It was just enough to keep me on the hook, to keep me enthralled. And every time women breadcrumb you, they know that pushing back, giving that distance, you know what I mean? It's like a hungry man that's starving for bread. You're like, oh, I'm hungry, oh, I'm hungry. And they just throw enough crumbs for the hungry, you know, oh God, thank you for the crumbs, mistress. You know what I mean? This is no way to be. And I think a lot of the reason why that woman got away with it was because I was contracting and working and living in Kuwait, and there wasn't a lot of dating options there. So you were bound to deal with a lot of BS, you know, you wouldn't ever deal with back in the US. I mean, deal with a lot of BS there, you know, it's vice versa from the America. So my main thing is this: don't let it happen. How do you combat this? How do you combat breadcrumbing? Gentlemen, this is where we go back to with Alan Roger Curry and everyone from him to the Red Pill community and Rollo Tomassi's writings. You got to spin plates. You got to have, or I call them satellites. You got to have multiple women that you're in communication with. And this is not to endorse being a player, or, you know what I mean? It's really not. I know when women hear this, they're like, oh my God. No, you have to. Because when you're seeing a woman and she's breadcrumbing you, she starts breadcrumbing, just throwing crumbs at you, you already know what's going on. Like I said, she's probably talking herself, spinning plates, talking to other dudes. You can't put all your bets on one racehorse. So to combat that, okay, is to be in communication with multiple women. So if this one drops out of the game, you're not like devastated, upset about it, or butthurt about it. You know what I mean? Because not all your bets were on that racehorse to win. And then when it didn't win, proverbially, you're like, oh God, oh, my bets are all gone. You know what I mean? And that's why now I don't have that issue, and neither should you. Because as soon as you see a woman breadcrumb and you are spinning different plates, you're seeing multiple women. Well, let me rephrase that. You're in communication with different women that are candidates for dating, becoming intimate with. You're not as upset about it. You're like, okay, you want to breadcrumb me? Okay, cool. You gain some romantic intimacy time together. Boom. Okay, it's breadcrumb time. That's right. I'm going to talk to Melissa now, or I'm going to talk to Lakeisha now, or I'm going to talk to, you know what I mean, Daniela. You know what I mean? So that's why you have to speak. You have to be in communication and kicking game to multiple women. This combats breadcrumbing. So make a note of it. To combat breadcrumbing, you have to be in communication with maybe 3 to 4 different women at any time of the month. You know what I mean? You have to talk to them every day, each one of them. But you have to have what I call satellites. And satellites will keep you from going down that street and being upset at the end. Most men, let's face it, most men get emotional and butthurt and they're upset because their main focus goes all on one woman. You know what I mean? And the woman hasn't earned it yet. That woman you're focusing in on, you're dating or whatever, she hasn't earned the right to be exclusive with you, that you only focus on her. And a lot of times the women are not just focusing on you, they're talking to other guys too. You know, well, you need to talk to other women. You know what I mean? So, and when women, here's the rub. Here's the crazy thing about it. When a woman feels you're a hot commodity, like, wow, you know, the woman is saying to herself, man, I get the feeling he's talking to, he has other women he's courting. He is in communication. He's very popular with the ladies. Maybe not you're having intimate relations with them, but you're very popular with the ladies. Guess what? Your SMV just climbs. Because guess what, gentlemen? Nobody wants to eat in an empty restaurant. Do you understand what I'm saying? Nobody wants to eat in an empty restaurant. So the allure for the woman to want to become more serious, and if you are into a long-term monogamous relationship, if that's where your aim is, if you want more investment, you want the woman to be all in, then she has to see that you're a hot commodity. She has to feel at least like, wow, he's in communication with a lot of other women. I have to, you know what I mean? And that's why I said, watch out when you do social proof though, okay? Don't make it look, because a lot of women get turned off. Don't make it look like you're out there rubbing it in her face that you're intimate with multiple women, unless that's an agreement you have with her and your SMV is just so high that she said, hey, it just is what it is. I got to share this dude. You know what I'm saying? That's a different case if you're on some Nick Cannon type of stuff. You understand? But this is how you combat breadcrumbing. And I endorse this for every man. Remember, use social media to your advantage. Don't be online leaving simpy comments for the world to see. Just keep playing the numbers game. Keep inboxing beautiful, attractive women and see what they say. See, you know, it's all about timing. It's all about timing. When the timing's right, the attraction's right, the world is yours and you'll have the pick of the litter. Variety's the spice of life. Asombroso!